Keep running! Go! That's how I escaped. The demon! Keep running! Ah! Go! It was you. They thought it was Andraste sending me from the Fade, but it was the Divine behind me. And then you... She died. Yes.
So this creature is simply a spirit?
You don't say.
I am sorry if I disappoint you.
The only thing that's important right now is getting out of the Fade. Whatever you are, you've helped us so far.
What we do know is that the mortal divine perished at the temple, thanks to the Grey Wardens.
As I said, the Grey Wardens responsible for that crime were under the control of Corypheus. We can discuss this further once we return to Adamant.
Assuming that the Wardens and their demon army didn't destroy the Inquisition while we were gone.
How dare you judge us? You tore Kirkwall apart and started the Mage Rebellion!
To protect innocent mages, not madmen drunk on blood magic. But you'd ignore that, because you can't imagine a world without the Wardens, even if that's what we need.
The Wardens are a risk. Send them away before they cause even more trouble.
What are you saying? You want to get rid of the Wardens? Everyone makes mistakes. They would have died to save us.
I don't know what to tell you. There are a few good ones, but an awful lot of the Wardens I've known went crazy.
Stroud isn't defending blood magic or demons. You know the cost of the Blight as well as any of us, Hawk. The Grey Wardens are the only force that can stop that.
Inquisitor.
The nightmare has found us.
Form up!
I'm with you.
Warden Stroud, how must it feel to devote your whole life to the Wardens, only to watch them fall? Or worse, to know that you were responsible for their destruction. When the next Blight comes, will they curse your name?
With the Maker's blessing, we'll end this wretched beast.
Do you think you can fight me? I am your every fear come to life. I am the veiled hand of Corypheus himself. The demon army you fear, I command it. They are bound all through me.
Ah, so if we banish you, we banish the demons. Thank you. Every fear comes to life.
I guess things just float whenever they feel like it here. Wonder what's up there. Or maybe it's best we never find out.
It's hard to trust my footing in this place.
Peter. Get through, and then slam it closed with all your strength. That will banish the army of demons and exile this cursed creature to the farthest reaches of the Fade.
The rift! We're almost there!
Great, Hawk. Why not just dare the old gods to try and stop you?
If you would, please tell Liliana. I am sorry. I failed you too.
You are nothing!
Die, demons!
You cannot stand against me. You will die in agony.
Stay strong!
I grow fat on your fear.
No, you were right. The Grey Wardens caused this. A Warden must...
A warden must help them rebuild. That's your job. Corypheus is mine.
Stroud.
Inquisitor, it has been an honor. For the Wardens!
She was right. Without the nightmare to control them, the mages are free and Corypheus loses his demon army. Though as far as they're all concerned, the Inquisitor broke the spell with the blessing of the Maker.
Once they understand what really happened,
They'll be terrified. I, for one, am tired of giving fear demons anything to feed on. Let them have their story.
Inquisitor, the Archdemon flew off as soon as you disappeared. The Venatori Magister is unconscious but alive. Cullen thought you might wish to deal with him yourself. As for the Wardens, those who weren't corrupted helped us fight the demons. We stand ready to help make up for Clarel's tragic mistake. Where is Stroud?
Warden Stroud died striking a blow against a servant of the Blight. We will honor his sacrifice, and remember how he exemplified the ideals of the Grey Wardens, even as Corypheus and his servants tried to destroy you all from within.
Inquisitor, we have no one left of any significant rank. What do we do now?
You stay and do whatever you can to help. Stroud died for the ideals of the Wardens. In war, victory. And we are still at war. Do you believe the Wardens can still help?
I do, your worship.
You're still vulnerable to Corypheus, and possibly his Venatori. But there are plenty of demons that need killing.
After all that, you give them yet another chance?
While they do that, I'll inform the Wardens at Weishaupt what's happened. Best they not get caught off guard.
Thank you, your worship. We will not fail you.
Good luck with your Inquisition. Try not to start an exalted march on anything. And take care of Varric for me.
Hawk sent me one final report. She's on her way to Weishaupt. As for the Grey Wardens, they are fighting demons and Red Templars while staying clear of Venatori. You dealt Corypheus a significant blow, Inquisitor.
We owe much of that to Stroud, and to the Divine.
Yes. You took an army from Corypheus, but that will matter little if Orlais falls into chaos. All arrangements have been made for the ball in Halam Shiral. Let us know when you are ready to proceed.
Remind me what we know about the plot against Selene.
The Venatori are planning some kind of attack on the Imperial Court. Corypheus may even be fueling the conflict between the Empress and her cousin, Grand Duke Gaspard. If we warn Selene, she may prove a most valuable ally against Corypheus.
I'll go as soon as I am able.
Good. Cullen, Josephine and I will discuss the best way to gain an audience with the Empress. Speak with us when you are ready. What was she like? Divine Justinia, or her soul, or the spirit that took her form. I read your report. I know it isn't clear, but...
She seemed calm, serene even, and she guided us the whole way through.
That does sound like her.
She did ask me to tell you something, though. She said, "I'm sorry, I failed you too."
Oh. I should finish this before it slips my mind. Perhaps later we might discuss the matter further. Thank you.
You walked physically through the Fade. Please tell me what you remember.
In all the times I've been to the Fade, I've never seen it react so strongly to my presence.
No one else has physically entered the Fade since the Magisters assaulted the Golden City. Oh, I'm positively envious right now.
I wanted to ask you about the Circle of Magi.
Of course. What do you wish to know?
You must have an opinion of the Templars after living so long in the Circle.
Having opinions about Templars, my dear, is exactly like having opinions about mages or Navarrans or men. I have known some who are impossible to endure and some who are utterly charming. I have suffered insults at the hands of those in the armor, but no more than I endured from nobles or tradesmen in Val Royaux. Personally, I have found the Templars a useful tool, skilled at keeping more unpleasant elements at bay.
How did we come to this state with the Circles in revolt?
A failure of perspective that infected Circle leadership. Mages lived solely in a world of Templars and Mages. They could not even imagine what was beyond the tower walls. Kirkwall gave the world a reason to remember its fear of magic. A mage killed hundreds with a snap of their fingers. Across Thedas, a new tangible fear of magic grew. Commoners and nobles alike called out to the Chantry for protection. But the malcontents in the towers thought nothing of this. They cared only for themselves and for their anger at the new Templar restrictions. When a mage attempted to assassinate Divine Justinia, again, the mages protested the investigation. The leadership chose to vote on independence based on the intolerable conditions imposed by the Templars, sparing no thought to the fact that magic was more feared in the aftermath of these attacks than it had been since Tevinter's day. So long as they had their freedom, they could care little for riots, angry mobs, or about pitting mages against each other.
I thought the fighting was only between mages and Templars. Why are mages fighting mages?
The vote for independence was carried by only a small margin. but Fiona chose to let the motion stand. Those who opposed a rash declaration of war against the entire free world had little choice. By breaking from the Chantry when they did, the rebels declared themselves in support of mass murder. Anyone who did not wish to support terrorism and the slaughter of innocents was forced to take arms against the rebels.
Are you familiar with Grand Enchanter Fiona?
We've met. Before her horrendously ill-timed and selfish vote for independence, I thought her adequate at her job. In her dotage, she could not handle looking after the well-being of so many people. We would have done better to replace her years ago, to let her spend time gardening.
I'm told you gave the Grey Wardens another chance, Inquisitor. Would I have done the same, I wonder? Forgiveness can be difficult. I hope the Order values what you've done, and gives you no reason to regret it.
I trust everything is well with the mages.
We're mostly relieved. An alliance with the Inquisition offers security, although who knows for how long.
I'll leave you to it.
You have remarkably little here on early to Winter history. All these gifts to the Inquisition, and the best they can do is the Malefica Imperio. Trite propaganda. But if you want 20 volumes on whether Divine Galatea took a shit on Sunday, this is evidently the place to find it.
If I knew what you were looking for, I could help you.
Because you're a mage? Considering education standards in the South, that's hardly a recommendation. I apologize. That was unworthy. Did I see something by Genitivi here? I could have sworn.
What is this about, Dorian?
When everyone returned, they told us about your tumble into the Abyssal Rift. You went into the Fade. Physically went in. Are you... all right?
Stroud is gone.
The Fade is an ordeal under normal circumstances. To be the only real thing there, beyond description. That you made it out at all is a miracle. You do realize this feat hasn't been performed in over 1,000 years. Corypheus and his contemporaries entered the Fade and began the Blights. In comparison,
So, I should be happy I accomplished something so grand.
concerned, more like. If you can walk in the Fade, others will try to follow. Who knows what secrets Corypheus has revealed? Not all of them will be as lucky as you. What they could unleash. My advice? Keep this quiet. Let them speculate. Too many will see this as a challenge.
That's a good idea.
There are enough idiots in the world who think if they just use enough blood magic, their problems will vanish. It's exactly the sort of thing I want to stop back home. This I don't need. What I do need is a copy of the Liberalum. I'll wager I can find Corypheus's real name. If I can prove he was a grasping ankle-biter with no family to speak of, the luster would come right off. Wish me luck.
What can I do for you?
I'd like to know more about you, Solus.
Why?
You're an apostate, yet you risked your freedom to help the Inquisition.
Not the wisest course of action when framed that way.
I appreciate the work you're doing, Solus. I just wanted to know more about you.
I'm sorry. With so much fear in the air. What would you know of me?
You said you'd traveled to many different places.
This world or its memory, is reflected in the Fade. Dream in ancient ruins, and you may see a city lost to history. Some of my fondest memories were found in crumbling cities, long picked dry by treasure seekers, the best of the battlefields. Spirits press so tightly on the veil that you can slip across with but a thought.
Any place in particular?
I dreamt at Ostagar. I witnessed the brutality of the Darkspawn and the valor of the Ferelden warriors. I saw Alistair and the hero Ferelden light the signal fire, and Logain's infamous betrayal of Kaelin's forces.
I've heard the stories. It would be interesting to hear what it was really like.
That's just it. In the Fade, I see reflections created by spirits who react to the emotions of the warriors. One moment, I see heroic wardens lighting the fire, and a power-mad villain sneering as he lets King Kaelin fall. The next, I see an army overwhelmed and a veteran commander refusing to let more soldiers die in a lost cause.
And you can't tell which is real?
It is the Fade. They are all real.
Have you always traveled and studied alone?
Not at all. I have built many lasting friendships. Spirits of wisdom, possessed of ancient knowledge, happy to share what they had seen. Spirits of purpose helped me search. Even wisps, curious and playful, would point out treasures I might have missed.
I don't know of any spirits by those names.
They rarely seek this world. When they do, their natures do not often survive exposure to the people they encounter. Wisdom and purpose are too easily twisted to pride and desire.
You're saying that you became friends with Pride and Desire demons?
They were not demons for me.
Meaning?
The Fade reflects the minds of the living. If you expect a spirit of wisdom to be a pride demon, it will adapt. And if your mind is free of corrupting influences, if you understand the nature of the spirit, they can be fast friends.
I'm impressed that you could become friends with spirits.
Anyone who can dream has the potential. Few ever try. My friends comforted me in grief and shared my joy. Yet, because they exist without form, as we understand it, the Chantry declares that spirits are not truly people. Is Cassandra defined by her cheekbones and not her faith? Varric by his chest hair and not his wit?
I hadn't thought about it that way, but I see your point.
Thank you. Few are willing to entertain such a notion.
What made you start studying the Fade?
I grew up in a village to the north. There was little to interest a young man, especially one gifted with magic. But as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the Fade, became troublesome.
Did spirits try to tempt you?
No more than a brightly colored fruit is deliberately tempting you to eat it. I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits, and how to interact safely with the rest. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. There was so much I wanted to explore.
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable to find new areas in the Fade.
Why?
2 reasons. First, the Fade reflects the world around it. Unless I traveled, I would never find anything new. Second, the Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations. To find interesting areas, one must be interesting.
Is this why you joined the Inquisition?
I joined the Inquisition because we were all in terrible danger. If Corypheus destroyed the world, I would have nowhere to lay my head while dreaming of the Fade.
Ah.
Inquisitor, that is why I joined, not why I stayed.
I wish you luck.
Thank you. In truth, I've enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fade.
How so?
You train your will to control magic and withstand possession. Your indomitable focus is an enjoyable side benefit. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
I knew Stroud, you know, not well. He saved Hawke's little brother from the Blight. Not many people knew who he was, but the man was a hero when it mattered. He wasn't the first good man to fall to Corypheus. He won't be the last. His story's no good for heroes.
You must be glad that Hawk made it back in one piece.
Yeah, closest thing I've ever seen to a miracle there. Hawk asked me to tell everyone back in Kirkwall where she's going. I'll have to let Carver know. I'm sure he'll take it well. I'd better write some letters. Excuse me.
Worship? Adamant's influence continues, your worship. I submit Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium, who remains loyal to Corypheus. We found him alive, offering extreme resistance, likely because the Order will ask for his head. In more colorful terms. To say nothing of justice you might personally require for what was suffered in the Fade.
Many places felt the pain of Adamant. You will answer for a great deal.
I recognize none of this proceeding. You have no authority to judge me.
On the contrary, many officials have communicated that they will defer to the Inquisitor on this matter.
Because they fear not just Corypheus, but Tevinter, rightful ruler of every piece of ground ye trod in your pathetic life. I served a living god. Bring down your blades and free me from the physical. Glory awaits me.
Although willing, there is a group you have wronged more than any. Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium. The Wardens can have you. Let them take your head if they want it.
Their petty justice or yours, it matters not. Truth lies in the next world.
Worship?
Writing does not come naturally to me, as I'm certain you can imagine.
Are you all right? You seem very intent.
I am. This needs to be done before I forget. As if written by a dim-witted child. Historians will one day ask what happened at Adamant Fortress, in the Fade. I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. It must be recorded.
Fair enough. Just be careful what you write.
Do not be concerned. I am a poor writer, but not unaware of the weight my words might carry. I still don't know what to say about the spirit of the Divine. I saw her there, heard her voice, yet I cannot claim with certainty it was really her. The Chantry teaches us that the souls of the dead pass through the Fade, so it could have been her. Yet even so...
Do you really think it might have been her? A ghost?
A ghost. A remnant of her hopes and memories. Her lingering will to do good. Those things are all possible. Nobody knows for certain what happens after we die. A spirit could have assumed her form, but why? It helped you, as Justinia herself would have.
Perhaps it doesn't matter what she really was, then.
It matters to me, to what I must write. I must interpret what I saw, yet I am no priest, no philosopher. I am a warrior.
I think it was the spirit. That's it.
Perhaps it saw Justinia's soul, and admired it enough to carry on her wishes. I hope that's true. I want to believe it. When I realized we were physically in the Fade, I was terrified, almost beyond reason. The last time such a thing happened, we created Darkspawn. We created Corypheus. The world needs to know the truth this time. No more legends lost to the ages.
Again. Again. Come on! This is why the Qun doesn't like women fighting. I should have asked Cullen. Good one.
Perhaps you can take over.
Qunari training exercise to master your fear. I heard about the nightmare at Adamant. Sounded big.
Can you explain why I'm supposed to hit you with this stick?
Probably, if I try. It'd involve a lot of Qunari words, though. Just hit me with the stick, all right? I need to get over this demon crap.
All right.
There we go. Oh, yeah. Damn demon. Who's stuck in the Fade, huh?
You fought in that siege. Every demon at Adamant wanted to tear you in half.
I bet, you demon assholes! And who killed you? That's right, Iron fucking Bull! I needed that. Thanks, boss.
Anytime.
We don't need those chargers. We've soldiers enough without cell
Heard what went on in that Fade thing. What you think went on. Can't even start to believe that business.
It's hard to describe. Guess you had to be there.
No friggin' thanks. Some people are still there. Stroud, yeah? Lost a serious mustache there. And in trade, a busted down bunch of wardens. And they're always weird. Usually, bad stuff happens first, so you're glad when the hero shows up. But wardens are the wrong way round. They're the good thing that means a bad thing is about to happen. Like in Denerim, when the Blight ended.
Someone has to have a plan. How else do you fight something that big?
Is it planning when legends show up? That's what they used to be. Just stories about griffons and stuff. I wonder what other made-up rubbish is just someone's plan we don't know about. Could do with less. Blackwall's nice, though. Different from the Adamant ones. Need more like him.
No. But you like demons! I enjoy the company of spirits, yes, which is part of why I do not abuse them with bindings. It isn't abuse, if I ask. Not always true. Also, I do not practice blood magic.
which renders this entire conversation academic.
He won't bind me. He's a mage and he likes demons, but he won't help.
Why would you want Solus to bind you?
So I'm safe. If Solus won't do the ritual to bind me, someone else could. Will. Like the Warden mages. And then... I'm not me anymore. Walls around what I want. Blocking, bleeding, making me a monster.
A mage using blood magic could conceivably do that to any one of us, human or demon.
You should ask Solus to bind you too. And then someone can bind him.
There has to be some middle ground between do nothing and bind Cole with blood magic.
Indeed. I recall stories of amulets used by Raveni seers to protect spirits they summoned from rival mages. A spirit, wearing an amulet of the Unbound, was immune to blood magic and binding. It should protect Cole as well. The resources of the Inquisition could be used to find such a talisman.
Good. They will not take me. Stop following me.
I haven't taken a step.
Finally, a place for the horses.
Someone I knew once described adamant to me. Adamant is, and always will be, the Order, he said. A guardian on the edge of the abyss. The lone soul that stares into oblivion and doesn't waver. That's what Warden Commander Clarel tried to be. Well, they all tried to be. None of the Wardens we saw wavered. They gave their lives willingly. They died for us. And Corypheus twisted their sacrifice to make it his own.
And that's why he has to die.
You'll get no argument from me. There's no one to blame but Corypheus. Even Clarel's intentions were righteous. Her desire to protect was so great it led her astray. It's not right. To want to do good, to be good, and have that turned against you.
Don't think of what went wrong. Think of their intentions, their sacrifice. Honor their selflessness.
Clarel made mistakes, but she was a great woman. And she died a great woman. It's not the armor or the trappings of the Order. It's not the... joining. At the heart of it, all a Warden is a promise. To protect others, even at the cost of your own life.
Inquisitor, if you're looking for the commander, he's gone to speak with Seeker Pentagast.
You asked for my opinion, and I've given it. Why would you expect it to change?
I expect you to keep your word. It's relentless. I can't...
You give yourself too little credit.
If I'm unable to fulfill what vows I kept, then nothing good has come of this. Would you rather save face than admit... We will speak of this later.
And people say I'm stubborn. This is ridiculous. Cullen told you that he's no longer taking lyrium.
It seemed very important to him.
It's not a decision to be made lightly. But now, Cullen has asked that I recommend a replacement for him. I refused. It's not necessary. Besides, it would destroy him. He's come so far.
Why didn't he come to me?
We had an agreement long before you joined us. As a Seeker, I could evaluate the dangers.
Is there anything we can do to change his mind?
If anyone could, it's you. Mages have made their suffering known, but Templars never have. They are bound to the Order, mind and soul, with someone always holding their lyrium leash. Cullen has a chance to break that leash, to prove to himself, and anyone who would follow suit, that it's possible. He can do this. I knew that when we met in Kirkwall. Talk to him. Decide if now is the time.
Maker's breath. I didn't hear you enter. Forgive me.
So long as you weren't aiming at me, I'm sure the box had it coming.
I swear, I didn't know you were... I never meant for this to interfere.
Are you going to be all right?
Yes. I don't know. You asked what happened to Ferelden's Circle. It was taken over by abominations. The Templars, my friends, were slaughtered. I was tortured. They tried to break my mind, and I... How can you be the same person after that? Still, I wanted to serve. They sent me to Kirkwall. I trusted my Knight Commander, and for what? Her fear of mages ended in madness. Kirkwall Circle fell. Innocent people died in the streets. Can't you see why I want nothing to do with that life?
Of course I can.
Don't. You should be questioning what I've done. I thought this would be better. That I would regain some control over my life, but these thoughts won't leave me. How many lives depend on our success? I swore myself to this cause. I will not give less to the Inquisition than I did to Chantry. I should be taking it. I should be taking it.
This doesn't have to be about the Inquisition. Is this what you want?
No. But these memories have always haunted me. If they become worse, if I cannot endure this...
You can.
Inquisitor. At your service.
Inquisitor.